Hi everyone. So the question came up, can you use a GT350 as a road trip car? Is the Shelby good to go on a long trip? Will it cost too much at the pump? Is it too loud? Is it too uncomfortable? Is there no room? All the answers to that I hope to answer them right now. So first of all, the positive. Actually, even with this big engine here, the 530 horsepower, you do not need to get broke at the pump and spend too much money on gas if you drive very conservative. So I tried this on a trip that was about roughly an hour long, 55 miles, and I got, I'll try to show it to you if I can go close enough, 28.2 mpg average. That being said, I was at 32, I believe, while I was driving, but this isn't highway only, so I had a little bit of city with it, and I drove not super slow, but quite conservative, and I didn't go over 70 miles an hour, maybe 75 to pass someone super slow, but that was it. So if you go on a road trip, you can do it by not using too much fuel if you want to, and still have fun in a fun car. Now the noise in the cabin here, it is not a quiet cabin. You can close the exhaust, you know. If the exhaust is closed, it's a little bit more quiet. Right now it's open. You probably can't hear much, but you can hear the exhaust note a little bit more. Let's close it. Now it's on normal. You can still hear it quite a bit, and when you drive, there's no drone in it, but you can hear quite a bit of exhaust sound, and you can hear tire noise, you know, a lot of road noise. If the roads are not great, you can hear a lot of road noise. I think that's the biggest thing. The exhaust, you can quiet it down, and in sixth gear it shuts automatically, so the exhaust is not the issue while driving on the highway, but it's the road noise. So that's a con. The cabin is roomy for two, a lot of room. Back seat too small, so I wouldn't take the kids in this car. A lot of room in the trunk. I mean, I've shown it before. There's a lot of room in the trunk, so you can put decent sized suitcases in there, or bags. And yeah, you can put your cooler in, and you can put your stuff here on the back seat if you want to. So the room is not an issue at all. The seats are good. Seats are comfortable. No problem at all. I have the AC on. I have the cooled seats on. This is one of the cars that still have the real cooled seats. They're not just ventilated, they're cooled, which you can see when there's a little AC on the button. The new cars, mostly they're just ventilated, and the symbol on the button is blue, but it has no AC on it, so you can feel a difference. So very comfortable vehicle to sit in. The radio works good. It has a navigation system. It has everything you need. So safe vehicle, comfortable vehicle. I would say you can definitely take it on a road trip if you drive it slow. I mean, you don't have to, you can drive it fast too. I mean, if you want to go and arrive with 12 mpg, then yeah, it gets a little more expensive with the gas prices right now, but it's still doable. You can still take this car on a road trip. Another con is the ride height. This car rides really low, so whenever the roads are a little rough, you can hit, you know, if there's a curb, you can hit your front splitter, you could damage it. And of course the tires are not made for gravel roads or bad terrain, so take that into consideration if you travel. Going to a national park where you may have bad roads, maybe not a good idea. Going somewhere in a city, watch out for curbs and tight parking garages, because tight parking garages often have bad curbs too. So that's something that would worry me a little bit. But if you know where you're going, the tires are fine, the weather's good, go for it. This car, for me, I would say yes, you can take it on a road trip. Thanks for watching.